Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into how the ultra-successful really think about money. And it's not just about getting rich, it's about chasing something way more valuable, financial happiness.
This quote right here from a former investment banker, it just hits at the heart of a massive misunderstanding we all have. We're taught that if we just earn more money, all our problems will disappear. But what if that's not it? What if the real key isn't the size of your paycheck, but the way you think about the money you already have?
So how do you make that jump? How do you go from just chasing the next promotion or the next raise to actually building a life that feels right, a life that feels like yours? Well, we're going to break down the playbook from someone who did exactly that, someone who walked away from a high-powered banking career to find what real financial freedom looks like.
Okay, it all starts with something we can call the success trap. And maybe this sounds a little familiar to you. You've done everything right, you got the good job, you're making a good salary, but there's this little voice, this growing feeling that the life you're living, it isn't actually the life you want.
This right here. This is the question that changed everything for that former banker, Nisha Shah. When she really, truly asked herself this, she had this light bulb moment. She realized all the glitz and glam of her career was just noise. And suddenly, the fear of staying stuck became way more terrifying than the fear of making a big change.
And this comparison really lays it all out. It's not about rejecting success, not at all. It's about redefining it. It's about shifting your focus from what other people think, the fancy job title, the external stuff, to what you actually feel on the inside. That's internal fulfillment. That's real peace of mind.
So if we feel that unhappiness, that disconnect, what's holding us back from changing things? Well, it often comes down to one single mistake, a huge financial blind spot that pretty much all of us have, especially when we're younger. We just avoid looking at our money.
Psychologists actually have a name for this. It's called the ostrich effect. And you know this feeling, right? It's that urge to not check your bank account after a big weekend out, or when you let that credit card bill sit on the counter unopened. You're just afraid of what you're going to see, so you pretend it doesn't exist.
And let's be real, our world today makes this avoidance so easy. We're surrounded by these little traps. I mean, think about it. One-click shopping, those social media ads that seem to read your mind. The entire system is designed to get you to spend money without thinking about it. So of course, ignoring the numbers becomes the easiest thing to do.
Okay, so how do we actually break this cycle of avoidance? This next part is the game plan. It's a really simple 3-step reset to take back control. And you're going to want to pay close attention because the order of these steps is absolutely crucial. All right, here's the plan. It's simple. Step 1, build a small emergency cushion. This is your sanity fund. Step 2, go after any high-interest debt you have, like credit cards. Attack it. And then, and only then, do you move to step 3, start investing for your future. Now, why this specific order? Because that first step, that little cushion, buys you something money can't: peace of mind.
In that peace of mind, it has a real measurable impact. How big, you ask? A full 21%.
That's right, there's actual research that shows saving just a $2,000 emergency fund increases your financial well-being by 21%. See, it's not really about the money itself. It's about the psychological freedom it gives you. It breaks that cycle of constantly feeling anxious about money.
Okay, once you have that foundation, that bit of breathing room, it's time to shift your focus. It's time to go from playing defense to playing offense. Let's look at the bigger picture, the engine that the truly wealthy use to build lasting wealth.
This distinction is everything. Saving is your defense. It protects what you've got. But it's a limited game, right? You can only cut your expenses so much. The real path to serious wealth is on the other side of this chart. It's your offense, earning more. Because with earning, there is no ceiling. The potential is unlimited.
And this is where you start to think like a business owner, not just an employee. Like Nisha Shah says, money is just an exchange of value. So the more value you can create for other people, whether it's at your job or with a side project, the higher your earning potential goes. It's that simple.
And here's the best part about all this. You don't need to be a Wall Street genius to make it work. Seriously, you don't have to pick the next Amazon or Tesla. The most reliable, proven path to long-term wealth is just consistently investing in low-cost, diversified funds. You can literally start with a single dollar.
And this really brings us to the ultimate point, the whole reason we're talking about this. All these financial tools, saving, earning, investing, they're not the goal. They're just the means to an end. This quote from a study about the regrets of the dying, it says it all.
People's biggest regret wasn't about money, it was not having the courage to live a life that was true to themselves. So, the question to leave you with is right here. What's one small money decision you can make today to get you just one step closer to that life you actually want? Because at the end of the day, your finances aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, they're the tools you use to build a life you won't regret. Thanks for joining this explainer.